Hello Tyler, welcome to the part 1 of our stretching extra credit video. First, we have the sternocleidomastoid, which originates here on the sternal head. Then it also originates on the upper manubrium and the medial portion of the clavicle. It then comes up here. It inserts on the mastoid process. Its action when it's unilaterally flexed is to tilt the head that way. And if it's bilaterally flexed, it goes this way. It flexes the neck. If we want to stretch it, what we can do is turn the head. If we want to stretch this left side, then we will then tilt the head back for a 5 to 6 second count, and then we'll come back. For the upper trap, when I turn around, our origination is the occipital protuberance and ligamentum nuchae of C1 up here. It inserts on the lateral 1/3 of the clavicle for the upper trap. Its action unilaterally is to turn the neck left. You turn your head. If it is bilaterally used, it will then extend the neck backwards. And if we wanted to stretch this passively, what we can do is come here and turn their head. Hold it for 6 to 10 seconds, and that would be the stretch. Levator scapula originates on the transverse process of C1 all the way down to C4. It inserts on the the superior angle of the medial border of the scapula, and its action is to elevate the scapula, downwardly rotate the scapula, extend the head and neck. If we want to passively stretch it, I will stabilize the scapula with my left hand here, and then take my hand and flex the neck like that. 6 to 10 seconds, and then we'll come back up. Supraspinatus originates up here, supraspinatus fossa of the scapula. It inserts here at the greater tubercle of the humerus. Action is abducting the shoulder, externally rotating the shoulder, stabilize the humeral head. If we were to stretch it, you can stand up. We'll take our arm, we'll put it behind our back like this, and then I will pull her more in adduction. 6 to 10 seconds, and then we'll be done. Infraspinatus is on the infraspinatus fossa of the scapula. It inserts on the greater tubercle. It also externally rotates, adducts the shoulder, and stabilizes the humeral head. To stretch this, we'll put our hand on our hip like this. I'll stabilize the scapula, and I will push her elbow anteriorly. 6 to 10 seconds, and then we'll be done. Teres major and teres minor are going to have the same stretch after this, but the teres major originates inferior angle of the scapula, lower 1/3 of the lateral portion of the scapula, inserts on the crest of the lesser tubercle of the humerus. The action is to extend the shoulder, so come back a little bit, to adduct the shoulder, bring it in, and then immediately internally rotate the shoulder. Teres minor originates upper 2/3 of the lateral border of the scapula. It still inserts on the greater tubercle. Actions are external rotation, adduction is stabilize the humeral head. So for the stretch for both of teres minor and teres major, would you like the side lie, Mara? So move left, please. I guess move down. It's okay. One take only. We're gonna come here. We're gonna bring the shoulder over. We can flex the elbow. Flex. There we go. And we will just farther pull this down and really stretch in the teres major and teres minor.
Yeah,
6 to 10 seconds. Hi Tyler, to part 2. Let's get started with pec minor. It originates on the 3rd to the 5th rib. It inserts here at the coracoid process. Its action is to depress the scapula, downwardly rotate the scapula, and abduct the shoulder. For the stretch, what we're going to do is have a half foam roller. I have a full one. Half foam roller is better. Lay it behind the patient. They'll lay on it. Because of that, their chest will be more out. And what we'll do is, on the coracoid process, push down. You can do it on both sides if you would like. And it helps stretch that pec minor. You can sit up. Pec major, it originates the medial 1/3 of the clavicle on the sternum, and then the cartilage of your 1st and 7th ribs inserts here at the crest of the greater tubercle. Its actions are adducting, medially rotating and elevating the thorax. The upper fibers flex the shoulder and horizontally adduct the shoulder, and the lower fibers extend the shoulder. For the stretch, we can bring our arm up here into a 90-90. I will stabilize the scapula with my backhand, and then we can pull the elbow back to stretch pec major. Bring it back. Serratus anterior originates external surface of 8th through 9th ribs. It inserts in the anterior surface of the medial scapula, so over here on the back. Its action is to abduct the scapula, upwardly rotate, and depress the scapula. If we were to stretch it, the way we would stretch it is have the patient grab across and have them start turn. There we go, 6 to 10 seconds, and it will be done. Rhomboid major, rhomboid minor, they're going to have the same stretch, but rhomboid major originates on the spinous process, and then on the spinous process of T2 through T5 on the back. It inserts at the medial border of the scapula. I'm going to turn, make it easier. Spinous process 2 through 5 is the origin. The medial border of the scapula, from the spine of the scapula to the inferior angle of the scapula, is where it inserts. Its actions is to adduct the scapula, elevate the scapula, and downwardly rotate the scapula. For rhomboid minor, we're originating on the spinous process of C7 and T1 up here. We're inserting from the medial border of the spine of the scapula and superior all the way to the superior angle. Its actions are adducting the scapula, elevating the scapula, and forwardly rotating the scapula. To stretch this, what we're going to do is clasp your hands together, and what we're going to do is with one hand pull the arms back, and with the other one we'll press their spine forward a little bit. Hold it for 6 to 10 seconds. You can raise up the arms a little bit if you want, and then you can reset. And then, let me say turn for lat dorsi. For latissimus dorsi, it originates inferior angle of the spine down here. Spinous process of T7 through T12, on the 3rd and 4th rib as well. It inserts at the intertubercular groove of the humerus over here. Its actions are extending the shoulder, adducting the shoulder, and then medially rotating the shoulder. To stretch it, what we're going to do is bring our hand up, and we're going to help bring the patient just over and stretch. 6 to 10 seconds, bring it back down. 2. Hi Tyler, welcome to part 3. We're going to start off with the biceps brachii. Our short head originates coracoid process. Long head originates at the supraglenoid tubercle. It inserts radial tuberosity. The action, it helps flex the shoulder, it will flex the elbow, and it also helps supinate the arm, the humerus. To help stretch this, what we're going to do is go here, put the palm facing down, and we're going to then extend the shoulder to a comfortable area, 6 to 10 seconds, and then we're going to come back. Next on to the tricep brachii. Our long head is going to insert at the infraglenoid tubercle. Our lateral head is going to originate at the posterior surface of the humerus, the proximal half, and then our medial head is also going to originate on the posterior surface of the humerus, but our distal half of the humerus. Its action is going to extend the elbow, and then for the long head, we're also going to extend the shoulder a little bit, and it helps adduct as well the shoulder a little bit. To get this stretch, what we're going to do is have the patient stand this way, have them come here, across, and then you can push their arm into their chest a little bit, like so. Brachialis, our origination, is the distal half of the anterior portion of the humerus. It inserts on the ulna tuberosity and the coronoid process, which is here. What it does is flex the elbow and It's going to have the same stretch as brachioradialis. So then brachioradialis originates also distal half of the lateral supracondylar ridge of the humerus, and it inserts base of the styloid process down here. And what it helps do is flex the forearm. So the stretch for the brachialis and brachioradialis is we're going to bring the patient here, and then go into wrist extension, 6 to 10 seconds. We're going to come, hi Tyler, here's part 2 to part 3. All right, we're going to start off flexor carpi radialis. We're going to originate on the medial epicondyle. We're going to insert at the base of our second and third metacarpal, and what it's going to do is flex the wrist, and it also helps assist in flexing the elbow. And it has the same stretch as other two flexor muscles, so we're going to go over those first. Flexor digitorum superficialis, there are two heads to this at the origin. One origin is the humeral ulnar, which is at the medial epicondyle. The other head is the radial head, and that is at the anterior border of the radius. Its action is to flex the middle phalanges 2 through 5, and then also helps assist in flexing the wrist. And it inserts at the middle phalanges 2 through 5. Flexor digitorum profundus originates at the anterior and medial portion of the proximal 2/3 of the ulna, so right here. It inserts at the distal phalanges 2 through 5, so more towards the fingertips, and it helps flex all those, and then fully cup them like that, and also helps assist in flexing the wrist. And then for this stretch, what we're going to do is just come here, bring our wrist here, and then stretch it down, 6 to 10 seconds. We can bring it back up. You can also do it up there if you want. And then for our extensors, we have extensor carpi radialis longus, which is going to originate at the lateral supracondyle, and then it's going to insert the dorsal surface of the second metacarpal right there. And what it's going to do is extend the wrist and also help radially deviate the wrist like that. And then it stretches the same as extensor digitorum, and for extensor digitorum, we originate lateral epicondyle, we insert the base of the distal 2 through 5 phalanges, and we extend all of our fingers, and we can also assist in wrist flexion, and all we do is stretch that, and extensor carpi radialis longus is bringing the hand down like so, 6 to 10 seconds, bring it back up.
Part 4, we're moving on to lower extremities, starting with the glute max. The origin is the posterior gluteal line of the ilium. Guys, can you raise that up for a second? Is it okay if I touch you?
Yes.
The posterior gluteal line of the ilium, the PSIS, the sacrotuberous ligament, and then it inserts onto the IT band, so it's general area here. It inserts onto the IT band, the gluteal tuberosity. Its actions are hip extension, hip external rotation, and then just pelvic stability. We're not doing the stretch, okay. Moving on to glute med. It's the outer surface of the ilium, and it inserts on the lateral posterior greater trochanters, so somewhere in here, right here. Can I feel you? Oh yeah, right here, okay. Its actions are hip abduction, hip internal and external rotation. For the piriformis, it's the anterior surface of the sacrum that it originates. It inserts on the superior medial greater trochanter, so in here again. Its actions are to hip externally rotate the hip and abduct the hip. For the iliopsoas, we're going to turn around. For the iliopsoas, it has two muscles. So the origin of the iliacus is going to be on the iliac fossa, and it inserts on the lesser trochanter. Palpate it somewhere here, in here, right? Somewhere, right?
Yeah.
Right there. Okay, great. And then the psoas, it originates on the transverse processes of L1 to L5, so back here, and the sides of the bodies of L1 to L5, and the intervertebral disc of T12 to L5. So, in here. And it inserts, again, on the lesser trochanters up here. Its actions are to flex the hip, externally rotate, and then for trunk flexion. Finally, for the TFL, tensor fascia latae, yeah, I don't know. Its origin is the anterior part of the outer lip of the iliac crest and the ASIS. Where is your ASIS? Can you put your hands on your hips?
Right here.
Thank you. And it inserts on the iliotibial tract. Its actions are to flex the hip, internally rotate the hip, and abduct. Now we're going to go into the stretches. For the glute max, You're gonna lay down on our makeshift bed. Now we're gonna start with our stretches, starting with the glute max. So you're gonna be sitting, laying supine on our makeshift bed. I'm gonna push his knee to his chest and hold for 6 to 10 seconds. Good job. How are you feeling?
Great.
Amazing. Here we are for glute med. You're going to
Same stretch as piriformis.
It's the same stretch as the piriformis, yes. So crisscross your legs. And then I'm gonna push them into cross the knee all the way over. Yeah. And I'm just gonna push as far as I can. Hold 6 to 10 seconds and release. So glute med and piriformis have the same stretch, which is the one I just showed. For our iliopsoas, I'm gonna scoot to the edge. I'm gonna bring this knee up. And I'm gonna push down on the opposite leg so you can really feel it on the psoas muscle, or iliopsoas muscle. Hold for 6 to 10 seconds. Are you good? You feel the stretch?
I'm good, yep. Very
Great.
strong.
Nice. For our TFL, you're gonna stand up, you're gonna sit on the floor, because I can't sit this way. Cross this leg over, and I'm gonna push. Hold for 6 to 10 seconds, and release.
Hooray!
Hooray! We're gonna do the same thing as last time. We're gonna go through the origin, insertion, and actions, and then we'll show the stretch afterwards. So for the rectus femoris, it's gonna insert on the AIIS, so right. Yes, right there. And the ilium, and then it's gonna insert on the superior aspect of the kneecap, so up here. Its actions are to flex the hip and extend the knee. For the bicep femoris, the long head originates on the ischiotuberosity. The short head will originate on the lateral limb of the linea aspera and the lateral supracondylar ridge, so in here. It inserts on the fibular head and the lateral condyle of the tibia, so in here somewhere, sorry, that hurts. Its actions are to flex the knee, extend the hip, and externally rotate the hip. Cool. For semitendinosus, it originates on the ischiotuberosity. For semitendinosus and semimembranosus, originates on the ischiotuberosity. For semitendinosus, it inserts on the proximal aspect of medial surface of the tibia, so in here again. And then for semimembranosus, it inserts on the medial tibial condyle. So again, in here somewhere. Yeah, great. Adductor magnus, it originates on the ischiopubic ramus. So deep in there. It also originates on the ischiotuberosity. It inserts on the linea aspera and the adductor tubercle, so in here. Wait, not your foot. For the adductor longus, it originates on the anterior pubis. Turn around. So in here, can't touch that. It inserts on the middle third linea aspera, so in here. Its actions are to adduct the hip and flex the hip and externally rotate the hip. For adductor magnus, its actions are to also adduct the hip and flex the hip. For adductor brevis, it's the inferior pubic ramus, so again, in there. It inserts on the upper part of the linea aspera, so up here, the proximal medial supracondylar ridge. Its actions are to hip adduct, hip flex, and hip externally rotate. For the stretches, for rectus femoris, you're gonna go ahead and lie prone. We might need that later, but okay. I'm gonna bring this leg up and push against it and hold for 6 to 10 seconds. How are you feeling? You feeling okay?
Yep.
Oh yeah, bring the heel to the butt. For the bicep femoris, the semitendinosus and the semimembranosus, they're gonna have all the same stretches. You're gonna go ahead and turn on your back. One of the stretches you can do is I'm gonna bring this leg up. Hold for 6 to 10 seconds and release, or you can stand up. Place your leg on this chair, and I'm just gonna help and push against and hold for 6 to 10 seconds. For the last one, for all the adductor muscles, so adductor magnus, adductor longus, and adductor rectus, you're gonna go ahead and sit. You're gonna give me a pizza with your legs. That's what I tell my little kids. And he's gonna reach forward as far as he can. I'm just gonna assist him in a little push to get him farther into that. And hold for 6 to 10 seconds and release. Part 6, last part. We have We're gonna name the origin, insertion, and actions, and then I'll show you the stretches first. For the gastroc medius, the origins on the medial condyle, the medial portion of the gastroc medius is on the medial condyle of the femur, which is gonna be in here. For the lateral gastroc medius, its origination is the lateral condyle of the femur, which is up here. Its insertion is the posterior surface of the calcaneus, so right in the heel. Its actions are to plantar flex and flex the knee. For the soleus, its origination is the posterior surface of the fibula and tibia and the tendinosus arch. So back here, fibula and tibia and the tendinosus arch, its insertion is the posterior calcaneus surface, and back here again. For the tibialis anterior, its origination is on the lateral condyle and the upper 2/3 lateral surface of the tibia.
Reach around.
Yes, please. It's gonna be in here. Yeah, right. In here. Its insertion is the medial inferior surface of the medial cuneiform and the base of the first metatarsal. So right in here on the foot, if you can see. For the pronatus longus, the origination is the head, the upper portion of the fibula. So turn around. Oh, actually, yeah, that's fine. Right in here, it inserts on the medial cuneiform or the base of the first metatarsal. So right in here again. Its actions are to evert and plantar flex. For tibialis anterior, the actions are to dorsiflex and invert the foot. For the flexor hallucis longus, the origination is the middle half of the posterior surface of the fibula. So back here. And then the interosseous membrane, which is the in-between. It inserts in the base of the distal phalanx of the great toe, which is in here. Right, somewhere in there. Base of the distal phalanx, yes. Its actions are to flex the big toe. Sorry, yeah, he's right. Flex the big toe and plantar flex. Yay! Now for the stretches, for the gastroc medius, go ahead and lie prone. You're gonna dorsiflex the foot and extend the knee.
Oh, sorry. That's on me, Tyler. This one's on me.
The last one was me.
So with it extended, you can then dorsiflex my foot with my knee extended.
And I push against. Hold for
Correct.
7
You just go
seconds.
to dorsiflexion, yeah.
Yep. For the soleus, you're just going to go ahead and flex the knee and then push against as well. Hold for 6 to 10 seconds.
Pushing into dorsiflexion.
And release. For tibialis anterior, you're going to go ahead and sit on the floor. Yep. You're going to plantar flex the feet. And I'm just going to push against. And hold for 6 to 10 seconds and release. I can put some tension here to make sure it's, you can really feel the stretch. For pronatus longus, you're going to lie on your back. Extend that foot as if we're going to go to the hamstrings, but we are not. We're going to dorsiflex and invert the leg, and I'm going to push against. Hold for 6 to 10 seconds and release. For the flexor hallucis longus, you're going to sit up one more time.
Would you sit up?
No, I guess you could do it this way. I'm just going to push against his great toe. I feel like you can isolate it more when you're sitting though. Still going to try sitting.
Yeah. Sitting up or sitting here?
Sit up and just push back. And just push against the big toe. And release. And that's all she wrote. Please give us a big boy, please.